semua sihat?
Alhamdulillah sihat.
Alhamdulillah. Daripada you all ni ada yang duduk di asrama tak? Ada yang di asrama? You all semua ada yang duduk di rumah sewa kan? Rumah sewa tu you all, maksud saya di among your the same group lah. Yang maksud saya semua student BHC same class lah. Kalau yang di college tu berapa ramai untuk for this group? Berapa orang? Ke you all tak tahu? Sebab saya nak tanya, you all ada tahu tak pasal pelajar BSc 5 yang hospitalized tu? You all kenal tak? Any one of you yang tahu about her? Takkanlah you tak tahu. Anyone yang tahu boleh update me how was she now? Tak kenal tapi tahu ada pelajar. Lambatlah you punya chat masuk. Tak pernah dengar. Hmm. 3 orang je duduk asrama. Okay. Oh, tak kenal sebab dia pelajar. Nabihah nama dia kalau saya tak silap. You tahu ke siapa Atira? You tahu? Ya betul, nama dia Nabihah. So you tahu ke macam mana update dia sekarang? Tahu eh? Dia sebab dia pelajar semester 5 and then you open dengan COVID ni kan, dia tak kenal lah. But kita harapkan semoga dia bertambah baiklah dalam keadaan yang lebih baik harapnya. Sebab dia punya rentetan, you tahu kan dia ada macam kronologi lah, ada lama jugalah dia sakit tu sehingga keadaan dia makin teruk dan Nabihah tu ada di college lah, actually dia berada di college sehingga dia up to the limit yang dia tak sedar. So kita harap dia dalam keadaan yang bertambah baik lah. Okay, about your quiz, as schedule, kita supposed to have the quiz during this week lah. Okay, during this week, kalau you tengok kita punya kalau tengok dalam kita punya teaching plan tu, it is supposed to be during this week lah, week 6, okay? So insyaAllah, we plan that to have a standardized time for all of you lah, all of the other two groups. So we decided to have the quiz during your weekend, either on Friday or Saturday, probably at night lah. So I hope that everyone is okay with the suggested time, okay, with the suggested date and time. So kalau siapa yang tak boleh bagi tahu saya. Sebab I'm going to confirm later lah hari dan waktu. Probably waktu tu kita buat 8:30 until 9:30. 8:30 to 9:30. This Friday night, and this Friday night is on 26th of November. Okay, 26th of November. Quiz 1, 8:30 to 9:30. Okay, since tak ada yang cakap tak boleh, so we proceed with the proposed date and time, 26 November 20 26 November, Friday, 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. Okay, so this quiz will carry you 7.5%, and you only one quiz, okay? One quiz that we're going to have for this paper lah, okay? One quiz, 7.5%. It carries the type of the question, multiple choice, and also short essay, okay? Short essay tu ada a few question lah on short essay. And this cover from chapter 1, all from chapter 1 only. Okay, for your quiz 1. So do you have any question about your quiz? Ada soalan? Jelas semua? Okay, if you do not have any question about your quiz, now I'm going to not discuss lah actually, about your liability video presentation. Okay, there are 8 groups. Okay, we have 8 groups from 8 cases, and out of the 8 groups with the different cases that you need to prepare, I'm really satisfied. Okay, I'm really satisfied with one of the cases prepared by group for case of Kaparo Industries. So with that, I want you to take the time. So the duration is about 5 minutes to watch the video first. Okay, and later we will come back. Okay, class, for 5 minutes, and we come back within 8:45. So the video I already put at Eclipse, Okay, class. Okay, ke tak? Okay,
Ya,
so
doktor.
okay, yeah, I put already at Eclipse, okay? Yeah.
ada kes apa tu,
Hmm?
kes law tu lah.
Yelah. So boleh tak elaborate sikit? What's your comment about the video?
Group saya punya ke doktor?
Tak, yang the video that you watched just now, Kaparo tadi. Did you watch it?
Sorry doktor, tadi line saya tak okay.
So you still not watch the video lah?
Yes, I just log in.
Okay. Others? Ke semua tak tengok ni?
Tengok doktor.
Tengok lepas tu. What's your comment? What you want to say about the video prepared by your friends on Kaparo?
Cara
Okay. Hazimah dulu. Ke Anissa dulu. Okay. Hazimah. Anissa. Okay.
kalau saya rasa cara penyampaian dia memang sangat faham lah daripada awal sampai habis.
Okay.
Mudah difahami.
Mudah difahami. Okay. Nisa? Ke Hazimah ada nak cakap ni?
I
Nisa lah
agree
pula.
with Hazimah. The video is very understandable because it has like animation. It seems we just watched a movie.
Yeah,
It has
exactly.
storyteller.
Yeah, so exactly. So, could you give a clap to the group? Sebab Amni kan, one of the group member lah, and we have the rest of them. So congratulations for your very interactive video, very interesting, and all of your friends able to understand the video, understand the case easily kan. So dia tak boring. Okay, and so itu yang terbaik lah, okay. But however, we also have another case yang you prepare ni. I'm not satisfied with the video that you prepare. Ada tu very slow and I couldn't hear hingga saya letak telinga saya dekat mic pun tak boleh nak tak clear. Jadi ada a few case yang macam tu lah. Kalau macam so I mention lah for the case I tak mention nama group, I mention untuk case untuk I'm not satisfied lah macam London and General Bank. So tak mencapai matlamat sebenar lah untuk preparing the video presentation tu, okay. London and General Bank. And then Kingston Cotton Mill Company. Macam bila I tengok video tu, I lost. Okay, I lost and I mean that it is not clear. And ada benda yang you tak mention related to your case is on the watchdog role. Tak dimensionkan. Okay. And then on Pacific Acceptance Corporation, you pun tak clear. You not mention who are the parties that involve. Maksud saya, who are the plaintiff and the defendant. You tak clearly define who are them. Okay. And then for the other one, Jeb Fastener Limited versus Mark Bloom and Company. For this group, the content is okay. Okay. We include all the related content that relate to the case, but very slow. Okay, for the Jet Fastener ni, group yang prepare case Jet Fastener. And the other one is on Royal Bank of Scotland versus Bannerman. Slow juga. Your voice tu slow. And ada slide lah, okay. Bukan, dia punya ni dia ada you prepare slide tu dia macam disturbance of the slide untuk group Royal Bank you akan moving of the slide tu macam kita tak boleh nak baca, and plus you punya voice pun perlahan, so tak boleh nak because of due to the moving lah. Okay, untuk yang I tak mention case name tadi I tak mention kan, ada Candler, okay, Awal Limited, okay, and plus Kaparo. So untuk group Candler, Awal dengan Kaparo tu you will able to get the full mark lah for this video presentation, okay. But the other group yang I mentioned tadi lah, okay, the other 5 groups tu, nak cakap so bad tu tak lah, tapi adalah macam I comment tadi, and you will not able to get the full mark lah, okay. And I'm not forcing you to prepare again because I know that it will take time, okay, for you to prepare the video presentation. But if you want to prepare it again with the better content, better quality, and mana yang perlahan tu ke, you nak buat lagi sekali, then you can submit again to me lah. So maybe within so depends lah, within dalam tempoh another 1 week ke untuk you prepare kalau you nak. Okay, kalau yang you nak prepare tu, please let me know which group. Group apa maksud saya? Group yang case apalah, mention your case group sebab I'm referring to the case name lah. Okay, so mention yang case mana, text me so that I will note lah that you want to prepare again, and I will not penalize based on the video that you had submitted to me. Okay, but I'm not forcing you lah. Okay, if you willing to prepare it again, it's also for your own benefit. Okay, tapi tak banyak pun, 7.5% je. Okay, so when you prepare the case, I'm not explain in detail on how you're going to address the case lah, because I believe that every one of you already completed the paper on law previously. Okay, business law, company law, you done on paper on law, and you already learn about the cases. Okay, I'm not mean the case on the legal liability of the auditor, but it is on how you're going to understanding the case. Okay, so I'm not explain how lah sebab I believe that you dah tahu sebelum ni kan, you dah belajar. Jadi bila, so I tak explain lah macam mana. Jadi bila you nak explain the case, okay, actually you boleh refer daripada case Kaparo tu kan. So, daripada group yang prepare on Kaparo tadi. So bila kita nak explain the case, kita kena define who are the plaintiff and who are the defendant. Okay, who are them? Okay, so kena clarifikan this dulu, these two parties. So that's kalau you tak able to clarify who are them, who are the plaintiff, who are the defendant, then how you going to understand later the case, how you going to understand the issues, how you going to understand as well as the court decision. Okay, jadi bila you nak explain tu, you mesti define. Okay, ni plaintiff, ini defendant, and siapakah plaintiff, who are the plaintiff, okay, siapa dia sebenarnya, what are the roles, kalau the company's name define lah, bagi tahu lah company's name, what are the activities of the company when the company engaging in the business, so that's like the history information about the company, if the company is a plaintiff or as a defendant. So, and same kalau it's about an individual, you have to explain to extend to the information that available. I believe that you can find in details, okay? And information is actually available. What you need to do, you have to do your searching lah, okay? So define who are the plaintiff and who are the defendant. Then you identify what are the issue, what had make the plaintiff, okay, sue the defendant. What are the reason plaintiff sue the defendant, and what are the issue? Okay, sometimes you already clarified the issue, but you not define at the beginning who are the plaintiff and who are the defendant, and that's what make the person that viewing your case tu tak boleh nak faham jugalah kalau you tak clearly define the plaintiff and the defendant. And mostly you all of you provide the issue and the court decision. But when you are not define who are them, okay, the plaintiff and defendant, so at the end kita tak boleh nak faham, dia tak clearly flow dia macam lack of the flow lah kat situ. Okay, so clear class about the case. Ada siapa-siapa nak tanya, group mana rasa tak jelas ke? Dia nak tanya, ada yang tak puas hati ke? You may ask me.
Doktor nak tanya, slow tu dalam slow disebabkan suara ke atau slow dalam penyampaian konten?
Macam tadi, I ada cakap one of the group, dia punya content, okay, contoh jet fastener, I cakap content okay, tapi very slow. Slow tu maksudnya voice, I cannot hear. Okay, I dah maximize I punya speaker but still cannot hear. Ada yang slow tu I cakap kalau group yang slow, jet fastener, content tu okay tapi very slow. But in term of the quality of the video tu takkanlah nak bagi full mark tapi slow kan. Tak fair lah in term of, sebab takkan you tak review dulu you punya quality of the video sebelum you submit to me kan. That's why bila you nak buat video recording tu you test dulu. You just conduct dulu just for 1 minute or 30 seconds so you playback. Okay ke tak suara tu ke. Jadi bila you dah record sampai at the end tu you will be tired lah, you will tired process. Okay. Macam yang slow tadi saya jet fastener. Sama juga macam Royal Pen pun slow dan juga dia punya flow of the slide tu. Dia punya moving of the slide tu kita tak nampak apa content yang you cuba put dalam you punya slide tu sebab ada few sentences so tak boleh nak baca sebab moving. Kalau yang flow tu you jadi lack of the flow bila plaintiff and the defendant tu ada yang tak define lah. So you tengok balik lah. So ni I comment secara keseluruhan lah. So you boleh evaluate balik you punya kerja each of your work tu macam mana kan. You dah lulus ke belum, you dah included clearly on the plaintiff and the defendant part. Okay, in term of the issue tu mostly ada issue. Coordination pun ada, saya banyak loss pada plaintiff and the defendant. So bila I dah highlight benda ni, so untuk 3 group tadi okay, you don't need to do anything you sebab you able to get the full mark. Untuk yang 5 group tadi lah, okay. Kalau you rasa you nak do it again to get the full mark, so it most welcome. Tapi tolong bagi tahu saya lah, mention your group name kalau you nak buat semula you punya video. Kalau so saya nak you update dalam hari ni lah, okay, sampai hari ni for you. Decide kalau you nak buat yang baru, so bagi tahu saya tu by today, bagi tahu saya dulu. Okay, class? Ada soalan lain? Any other questions about the video? Tak ada ya? Alright, yeah, if you don't have any questions, semua puas hati lah. Okay. So kita nak tengok sikit pada kita punya new chapter for the new chapter. Okay, on new chapter is from chapter 3. Okay, chapter 3, completing the audit engagement. Okay, in this chapter, okay, on the completing the audit engagement, meaning that we are at the end of the stage of the audit engagement lah with our client. We almost done, but still we have a few things that we need. Okay, maksud saya that the auditors need to do. Okay, when reach at this stage of the audit engagement. Okay, so in this chapter, okay, we're going to look on the few of the important things, okay, such as you will be able to explain on the audit issues related to the contingencies. So contingencies is not the new term for you, okay. You already learned this in your financial parts, okay, financial accounting, okay, financial accounting and reporting, which is this is under the MFRS 137, okay, provisions, contingent liabilities and contingent assets. So when come to this audit, it is not the new things for you lah. You already covered them during your financial accounting class. And then you will able to know the procedures, the audit procedure used to identify the contingencies. What are the audit procedures that we're going to conduct as the auditor in identifying the contingencies in our client, okay, in our client, in a client company. And then we're going to look at the audit issue related to a legal letter. So what is a legal letter and who are issuing the legal letter? Okay, and then we're going to explain, okay, explain why the auditor must be concerned with the entity commitments and then subsequent events, subsequent event. Know the types of the subsequent events ataupun we also call this as a post balance sheet event. Post balance sheet event also covered during your FA class, okay, financial accounting, under MFRS 110 events after the statement of financial position date. So that event need to consider by the auditor even it is after the balance sheet date. Okay. Actually, we just prepare or audit according to the financial year end of the company kan. But when it comes to the events that occur after the balance sheet date, we also need to consider them, okay, before we complete the audit engagement. Okay, and then understand the auditor's responsibility regarding the subsequent events. Okay, know the audit procedure used to identify the subsequent events, and then steps. Okay, steps included by the auditor in the final evaluation of audit evidence. So this relates to the previous topic on the audit evidence. And able to explain how auditors identify and assess the going concern problem. Okay, going concern is always the matters that highlighted by the auditors. Kalau you tengok dalam audit report, kalau you search, okay, so going concern is a concern, okay, concern about the continuity of the company or the business. And if you still remember, okay, if you still remember during your year one, okay, during your year one of this program, Bachelor in Accountancy, you are uh, you are looking at the topic of the accounting concept and principles. Okay, accounting concept and principle. Do you remember, class? What are them? The accounting concept and principle? Ingat ke tak lagi? Actually, I found that this class is very passive. Even saya bersama dengan pelajar semester 7 is actually the final year students. But I found that you are very, very passive and it's very difficult for me to talk or to discussing with you. Sangat susah. And now, so dia akan jadi a very boring class. And even during our face-to-face class session pun, this is also the two-way communication juga lah. I tanya, we are discussing, you throw your idea, your opinion, what you understand. Itu juga yang kita akan buat dalam face-to-face class. Same in this online virtual class kan. Tapi itulah, susah sangat I nak ajak you discussing, throw your idea. So you are very passive. And now I try to discussing with you with what you had covered previously about the accounting concept and principles. So no one want to share ataupun nak bercakap ke, tak ada. So at the end when I'm asking you, adalah jarang-jarang tu yang cuba respon. But at the end, I yang tanya, I juga yang nak kena cakap balik. So this is a very boring class and you also as a, boring. Sebab kita tak boleh nak achieve an active learning session lah. Dia tak not an active learning session. So that I don't know whether you faham pun. Even when I'm asking you faham ke tak pun, you cannot respond. You tak boleh bagi tahu pun, susah nak bagi tahu faham. Susah juga nak bagi tahu tak faham. So now I nak discussing with you about the accounting concept and principles. If you still remember, what are them? Anyone, can you discussing with me? Salah pun tak apa, but actually you trying to discuss to make the class enjoy. Kan? So anyone that could share with others, with your colleague on the accounting concept and principles. You dah belajar benda ni waktu you year 1. And kalau katakan you tak belajar waktu year 1 pun, during your, kalau polis yang ambil principal account during your school time, ada juga. So basically the accounting principle and concepts is the thing that we included during the early lah. Okay, at the early semester, you akan belajar pasal ni. Review recognition process, historical cost. You tak boleh bercakap historical cost principle. So these are the things on the accounting principles, accounting concept and principles yang you have covered this during your year 1. Okay. And out of that concept and principle, one of them is on the going concern methods, going concern principles. So what are the going concern principle meaning? Okay, siapa maksud going concern principle tu? Anyone? Anyone that want to share what is the going concern principle? Is actually you're going to discussing further about the principle, but at the surface you don't understand apa sebenarnya konsep tu. So that's why you tak boleh nak faham lah kan.
Doktor,
Ya.
tadi Dr. tanya pasal going concern kan.
Yeah.
Okay, going concern is the assumption that an entity will remain in business for a long time.
For a long time. So we assume that the business will continue to operate, will continue to earn profit, kan? So we'll continue non-stop of the operation. That what we continue. Okay, that what we predict what will happen towards the business. Okay, will be continuity for the years, for the long time will be operated. Okay. So anyone else who want to add about the going concern?
Sir,
Yeah.
apa yang saya faham tentang going concern ni, dia macam satu awareness kepada company, yang mana kalau tak ada awareness tu company tu boleh bankrupt. Sebab tu dia concern. Yang tu yang saya faham, Doktor.
Okay, thank you. So awareness lah that we're going to maksudnya from the concept itself, it inject, okay, we as the owner of the business, okay, or among themselves in the company, that the business will be continue to operation, okay, for the years, for many years, okay. Right, and then what's intention to continue its operations, continue in operation for foreseeable future, maksudnya continuity for the future period, okay, over the years. Okay, so that what the going concern concept means, okay. But however, there are situations whereby there is a caution, as a precaution, that there will be the going concern issues or going concern matters that would occur in the company ataupun dah memang pun berlaku. So apa sebenarnya what we call, nak cakap thermometer ke yang maksudnya apa yang boleh kita mengatakan bahawa this company is and the going concern matters, ada issue continuity. So apa yang kita nak menilai dalam company tu. So nanti kita akan tengok faktor apa yang kita boleh cakap, yes, this company is in the going concern. Going concern matters is aroused. So basically kita akan tengok in term of the liquidity. Okay, if the liquidity of the company is very low, okay, dia punya kecairan tu, so kita akan predict that there is the going concern matters. Ataupun another things other than liquidity, kita tengok juga dari segi working capital. So what is working capital pula kat situ? So semua tu dia akan goes back pada you punya the foundation of accounting yang you dah cover sebelum ni. Macam sekarang kita discuss pasal going concern, and then I mention pasal liquidity, and then I mention pasal working capital. So semua benda tu adalah the thing that you already cover in the past. So bila term tu you tak tahu, so bila kita discuss benda pun you tak tahu. Kan? So you tak faham. Okay? So that's the relation di situ antara accounting and auditing. Okay, and then understand the auditor's communication with those charged with governance and management and matter that should be addressed. So other than that, we must understand, okay, in the completing the audit engagement, the auditors the auditors will have the communication or the discussion with the parties that are charged with the governance of the company. So this including with the discussion with the board of directors, with the audit committee, so that these are the person that involved in the management of the company, and also they know more about the company. Okay, and then the auditors need to discuss with them so that maybe there will be another issue, okay, yang tak termasuk yang kita bincangkan tadi, yang kita highlightkan tadi, kita tak bincang lagi, yang kita highlightkan tadi yang perlu di-highlightkan oleh with the parties, okay, with the parties that charge with the governance of the companies. So this is our thing that need to be concerned, okay, in completing the audit engagement by the auditor. Okay. Okay, before we go to this slide, okay, tak nak pergi lagi slide ni. I want you to look at page 513. Okay, page 513. This is try to refresh again. Okay, refreshing again you on the major phases of an audit. Okay, you can refer this from your textbook, page 513. So before the auditor starts the engagement with the client, so they will have the client acceptance or continuance. Okay, that's the first stage. Okay, first stage, and so that's the auditor will be evaluate lah, try to understand the companies first before they're going to accept the engagement by the client. So basically yang itulah kita akan cuba fahamkan industry of the business, kita cuba tengok any matters, okay, that would possibly assist you to decide to whether to accept or continue the engagement. Okay, and then we have the preliminary engagement activities. We have the representation letter, ada few letters yang terlibat dalam stage ni. Okay, management letter, and this need to be prepared early lah. Okay, and after finish on the preliminary engagement activities, then we have the plan the audit. Okay, so plan the audit yang boleh tengok later dalam chapter, also under chapter 3, 4 and 5 kalau you want to recall again your understanding on this. Okay. Okay, after dah plan the audit tu, kita akan tengok pada consider the internal control of the company. So considering the internal control ni is very important. Okay, so kita tengok sama ada internal control company ni berada pada tahap yang level mana. Okay, kalau the internal control tu okay, internal control tu okay, then it would not be risky lah. It would not be risky to the auditor dalam completekan engagement tu. Kalau lah internal control tu tak boleh diterima, memang lack of internal control process. Memang banyak lompang. Okay, kalau you remember dalam accounting information pun you ada belajar tentang internal control kan. Kalau internal control dia tu bermasalah, so then it would possibly the audit yang you nak hendak dalam that company tu akan ada banyak risky kepada you, maksudnya audit risk pula berlaku di situ. Okay, berlaku pula audit risk. So bila audit risk tu tinggi, then apa yang you perlu buat as the auditor class? Bila audit risk tu tinggi, Ingat tak macam mana? What will happen if the audit risk is high? Sana kelas? Tak ingat? So dia ada berkaitan dengan audit risk di situ. So bila berlaku high audit risk, dia akan melibatkan inherent risk and detection risk tu pun akan berbeza lah kan. Okay. So bila height of the risk in the company, then there also will be height of the inherent risk and also height the control risk yang akan berlaku dalam company tu. So audit effort juga akan bertambah. Okay, bila audit effort itu bertambah, of course the audit fees also will be high. Kan? So evaluate the internal control of the company. Okay, is very important to you because you're going to identify to what extent later the audit evidence yang you nak kena collect. Okay, kalau internal control itu is very weak, so what happened to the audit evidence later? Of course, the audit evidence and from the internal sources tak boleh nak diguna pakai kan. So you need to rely more on the audit evidence come from the third parties. Barulah boleh kita rely. Kalau daripada company tu sendiri yang mempunyai weak internal control, then audit evidence pun akan probably bermasalah. Okay, and then after you considering the internal control, then you conduct the audit on view of the accounts. Okay, on view of the accounts, or also we call as the cycle. Okay, kita conduct audit on the purchase cycle, sales cycle, and then also ada juga kita tengok on account receivable, account payable, bank accounts, as well as property, okay, PPE, plant and equipment, property, plant and equipment. So we're going to conduct the audit process on the respective accounts. Okay, and then now we come to the final part which is on the complete the audit. Kalau you remember waktu you cover during your audit 1 hari tu, kita tak cover pasal the completion of the audit. You just banyak topik yang you belajar hari tu adalah on the cycle, okay? Purchase cycle, sales cycle, payroll, inventory, long-term liabilities. Itu saja. Dan kita tak tengok lagi on the completing the audit engagement which is on this chapter. Okay? And this are the chapter 6 from your textbook. And evaluate result and issue audit report. So yang ni you dah belajar kan. You dah tengok dalam prepare the audit report. Okay, prepare audit report, audit opinion and audit report. So what are the type of the opinion? Unqualified, qualified, modified opinion. And also sometimes we have unqualified report with the emphasize matters paragraph, and then ada disclaimer opinion pula tu macam mana. And from the cases yang you discuss tadi on the legal liability, so ada satu isu yang kita bincangkan pasal disclaimer yang dihalatkan oleh auditor. So macam mana kita nak apply disclaimer opinion tu. Itu yang latest case by the Royal Bank Royal Bank versus Bank Johnson about the disclaimer, the term of the disclaimer. So I hope you still remember, okay, on the type of audit opinion and audit report. And now we on the chapter 16 on the completion of the audit. So for this chapter, actually we focusing on three parts lah. Okay, the three parts that another thing that need to consider by the auditor when completing the audit engagement, which are on the contingencies, going concern matters, and the subsequent event or the post balance sheet events. Okay. So first, we look at the contingency. Okay, the first one. So contingency is actually about the liability. Okay, liability that is uncertain because the possible outflow of resources from the entity will ultimately be resolved when some future events occurs or fails to occur. Okay. So this liability, this liability is legally bind lah. Normally there is something that legally bind or due to the contract between the parties, okay. That's ataupun dia melibatkan enforceable by the law, okay. And it is arise under the contractual arrangement from the amount borrowed, okay, by the company ataupun amounts owed for asset purchase or service obtained, okay. So here are the examples of the contingency. Pending or threatened litigation. Okay. Maksudnya kes yang litigation yang belum pasti lagi, tak sure lagi. So maybe after the post balance sheet event tu, ataupun after the date tu, barulah kita tahu macam mana keputusan daripada litigation tu. Okay. And then we have actual or possible claims and assessment. And then income tax disputes, product warranties or defects. So ini apa yang kita offer pada customer lah, okay, on the product warranty or defects, and the guarantees of obligations to others, as well as the agreements to repurchase receivables that have been sold. So auditor, you need to identify and understand contingency because they may require recognition, okay, recognition or disclosure in the financial statement. So as I mentioned just now, for the contingency, it's covered under MFRS 137 that you learned during your FA class on the provision, contingent liabilities and contingent asset. Two contingencies will imply the following. So there are three conditions, okay? Probable, neither probable nor remote, ataupun remote. So what is the probable? Probable is the chance of the future event occurring is more likely than not. Okay. When the chance of the future event occurring is more likely than not, the contingency should be recognized in the financial statement and be accompanied with appropriate disclosure. Maksudnya kebarangkalian tu adalah tinggi lah untuk that event to occur. Maksudnya contingency lah on the contingency. So bila macam in this condition, then kita nak kena recognize lah dalam financial statement dan provide with additional disclosure in relation to that contingencies. And the second one is neither probable nor remote. The chance of the future event occurring is less than probable but more than remote. So yang ini adalah yang situation yang tengah-tengah. Okay. For this second condition, the contingency should be disclosed. Okay. Kalau yang tadi tu dia punya level tu dia mesti recognize. Tapi yang ni hanya perlu disclose. Not recognize in the financial statement. Just make a disclosure about this but no need adjustment or reporting in the financial statements. And the third condition is remote. The chance of the future event occurring is slight. So when the chance of the future event occurring is slight, then the contingency needs no disclosure lah. Maksudnya it is highly would not occur lah. The event will not occur, then no need to make any disclosure. Okay, in the case of the remote case. This is about the contingency. I mean the type of the contingency and what would be the actions needed to be taken by the auditor. Okay. Okay, so in your textbook, okay, in exhibit 16.1, it provides you the example of disclosure of the contingency taken from a recent annual report. Okay, in exhibit 16.1, consider how much judgment is involved on the part of the management and the auditor in making and assessing the reasonableness of this type of disclosure. So this example, it's provided to you on how the accounting and auditing involve a great deal of subjectivity and professional judgment. So you can read on this example of a notes disclosure for a contingency, meaning that this is under second type, okay, second condition of the contingency, neither probable nor remote. But what we need to do in that case is we need to make the disclosure about the contingency matters. Okay, and then what are the audit procedures in identifying the contingency? Okay, what we can do is we read the minutes of meeting. Okay, read the minutes of the meetings. So basically lah, meeting ni akan diadakan among those charged with the governance. Okay, kita kena baca minit of meeting melibatkan those charged with governance, maksudnya melibatkan board of directors and audit committee of the company. Okay, the board of directors and audit committee. So that we will get the idea and what will be the possible or the status of the contingency of the company. Okay, normally dia akan raiskan dalam minute of the meeting that conducted by the TCWG. Okay, TCWG itu adalah those charged with governance. That's the abbreviation here, TCWG. So we read the minutes. So that's why when you conducting maksudnya apa lagi selain daripada financial audit, auditor juga akan buat statutory audit. So dalam statutory audit ni lah yang kita akan discover, okay, benda-benda yang kita discuss ni lah. Yang pertamanya adalah contingencies. So later you akan ada training kan, industrial training. So hopefully that you will get the exposure on the statutory audit as well. And financial audit tu ialah. So for this part of the statutory audit, inilah statutory. So macam financial dalam audit tu ya ada dua part, financial audit and statutory audit kan. So kalau bila nak baca minute of meeting tu, itu di bawah statutory audit. So statutory audit ni, all the minute ni dia tak ada dalam financial statement kan. So how to get that minute? You mesti pergi pada company secretary of the company. Company secretary of the company. So barulah you boleh dapatkan minute tu, you akan baca yang So all the minute tu dia will be kept by the company secretary. So once you dapat minute tu, bila you conduct statutory audit, so you make a photocopy lah as the evidence that you're going to include in your audit engagement tu lah. Okay. So sama juga, the next one is reviewing contracts, loan agreement, leases and correspondence from government bodies. So ni juga you boleh dapat daripada statutory audit lah, semua all non-financial lah. This is actually non-financial document yang tak relate pada financial accounts lah. So all the maybe there will be a new contract, okay, a new contract. So this also will be kept by the company secretary. So loan agreements, leases, and correspondence from government bodies. Ataupun yang maybe kita kontrak yang melibatkan mortgage ke, so itu pun akan ada dalam document that will be kept by the company secretary. And then review the tax return, taxability and tax authorities report. So this is another part that you also need to concern when you conducting the audits on the tax part, okay? Sebab tax ini akan di-prepare by another department, okay? Bukan auditor yang akan prepare the tax return, tapi by the other tax department yang so the tax department tu yang maksud saya dia another parties yang akan prepare tax untuk company tu. So kalau you berada di dalam satu firm tu, so dalam satu firm dia akan ada pecahan lah, audit department, tax department as well as company secretary, and all these department is under different companies name lah. Tapi sebenarnya dia di bawah satu company. So untuk dapatkan information about the tax return, so you need to refer from the tax department. So any taxability and tax authorities report, you will cover this lah. Apabila you dapatkan details daripada tax department. And then confirming or otherwise documenting warranties and letters of credit obtained from financial and lending institution. And number 5, inspecting other documents for possible guarantees or other similar arrangement. So other documents also you can get this from the company secretary file. Okay. So any question? Class? Are you still following me? And don't forget to fill in your attendance. It is compulsory. Okay, next is on the specific audit procedures conducted at the near completion of the audit. Okay. Other than audit procedure that we discussed in previous slide, okay, we have here the specific audit procedure. So the first one is inquiry of and discussion with management about the entity's policies and procedure for identifying, evaluating and accounting for contingencies. Okay, so management has the responsibility for establishing policies and procedures to identify, evaluate and account for contingencies. And for the large companies, it may implement such policy and procedure as part of their risk assessment process. And for the smaller entities, okay, they may rely on legal counsel and other parties to identify and account for contingencies. So when we direct the question and discuss with the management, then it would be make the audit process faster lah, because you directly ask them what would be the other policy and procedures, okay, that implement or apply by the company in identifying the contingencies of the company. And then the second one is examining the documents, entities, okay, such as correspondence and invoice from lawyers for pending or threatened lawsuit. Other than that, the quick ataupun the specific, okay, is we're going to look at the records that related to the fees, law fees. So we can identify lah, this actually for what. So normally when it is involving the contingency or the legal liability or any other contingency, so kita akan hire, the firm akan hire law lah, right? So kita boleh tengok ada law fees, okay, and from the law fees so kita boleh trace what actually the status lah, okay, what is the status of the lawsuit, for example. So even though the amount of the legal expense account may be immaterial, but actually it's also material. The law, the fees law, sebab ada tu setengah dia depends actually. Okay, depends pada case lah. Ada tak berapa tinggi, ada tu tinggi kan. Sebab kalau lawyer basically dia punya charge tu mostly tinggi lah. Nak buka file tu saja dah berapa ribu kan. Belum lagi untuk case perbicaraan, baru buka file. So normally the fees is expensive lah. Tapi kat sini dia cakap maybe immaterial, but maybe lah, okay, maybe. But mostly the fees is high, okay. The auditor normally examine the transaction in the accounts. So ini chapter 14 Kalau chapter 14 lah, auditing the financings and investigations. So the purpose of this examination is to identify actual or potential litigations against the entity. Inilah macam yang I mentioned tadi. The account analysis can also be used to develop a list of lawyers who have been consulted by the entity. So kalau macam ni lagi detail lah, okay. It provide from the litigation cases tu, dia tengok daripada fees, law fees, and the list kan. Dia listkan berapa ramai lawyer yang consulted by the companies. Ini memang company banyak contingencies lah kalau macam ni case dia. And number 3 is obtaining a legal letter that describe and evaluates any litigation, claims or assessment. Okay, so legal letter ni kita akan discuss later Yeah. And number 4, obtain a written representation from management that all litigation, accepted and unaccepted claims and assessments have been disclosed in accordance with applicable financial reporting framework. This information is obtained in a representation letter furnished by the entity. Representation letter I discuss later in this chapter. So actually you dah pernah cover pun, okay, representation letter ni. So itu adalah you can get the clarification from the management that all the litigation, all the claims and assessment have been complying with the applicable standard lah, okay, financial reporting standards. Okay, so do you have any questions? Nah, tak ada soalan tak ada. Okay, if you don't have question, we look at the legal letters. So what is the legal letters? So legal letter is a letter of inquiry. It is actually audit inquiry, okay, that sent to the entity's external legal counsel. Okay, is a primary means to obtain corroborating evidence regarding litigations, claims, and assessment. So, who will prepare the legal letter? Who prepare the legal letter, class? Hmm? Auditor.
Management
Management.
and then send to auditor.
Management and send to auditor.
Uh, uh,
Are you sure?
no, I think auditor.
Auditor.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, class?
Yes.
Sebab sekarang tengah hujan lebat. Okay, so legal letter is prepared by the management. Okay, legal letter is prepared by the management of the company, and it will send by the auditor and request the entity's external legal counsel. So it is prepared by the management and class management, and it's sent by the auditor. Okay, so in this slide, it provide to you the other litigation lah. Okay, litigation yang melibatkan auditor yang melibatkan isu on the contingency lah kan. So yang pertama di situ adalah breach of contract. So breach of contract ni is a common lah yang kita seperti yang kita cover dalam previous chapter on legal liability. And then we have the patent infringement. Okay. So for the patent infringement ni is a infringement tu adalah something yang break the law, okay, yang tidak menepati legal, okay, infringement tu. And then in the patent re-infringement ni, it relate to the selling ataupun manufacturing, okay, ataupun selling or offering to selling or manufacturing, okay, a patent product, product yang dipatentkan without owner's permissions, okay. So patent infringement adalah case di mana one of the company tu selling, offering, okay, or manufacturing a patent product, okay, produk yang dah dipatentkan without owner's permission. So macam nak kata cetak rompak aku di sini. And then is the product liability. Product liability ni is related to the kita jual barang yang defect product to our customer kan. So it is about the product liability is a legal liability that will be borne by the manufacturer or traders for producing or selling a faulty product ataupun defect product. Okay. And then another case or type of the litigation is violation of a government's laws and regulations, that including of the violation to the securities law, anti-discrimination law based on gender, age, race, and other characteristics, unfair competition and antitrust law, income tax regulations. So this is about on the tax, okay? And then environmental protection laws. This is maybe about the issue of CSR, okay? Environmental protection law, maybe company ni melibatkan is a industrial products, okay? So dia melibatkan air pollution, for example, okay? That relate to the environmental protection law and anti-corruption laws. Okay, so that's the example of litigations, okay? So yang previous slide tadi tu adalah contingency, so yang ni adalah liability. Tapi semua tu di bawah satu payung yang melibatkan contingency lah pada company tu. Okay. So you can look at the example of the legal letter at exhibit 16.2. Okay. So we stop at the legal letter lah. Okay. And we will continue again on the lecture. And as usual for today, don't forget to join the tutorial class. As usual lah, I will put the question, and for this time you need to submit And last week on video, yang previous 2 week tu on the audit report. Tapi yang hari ni you need to make the submission Okay. Okay. So ada apa soalan sebelum we end our class? Ada soalan tak ada? Sharifah, you have any question?
Saya nak tanya.
Tak ada.
Yang
Tak dengar.
3 grup yang okey selain Kaparo tu. 2 lagi.
Pasal video tu.
Ya betul.
Pasal video tu yang 3 group tu is exception, and another 5 group tu. But for another 5 groups, it is not compulsory, but it is welcome for you if you want to get the full marks. Okay. Betul lah, tapi
nak tahu nama
tak dengar. Sharifah boleh cakap kuat sikit, tak dengar.
3 grup yang okey tu selain Kaparo tu 2 lagi saya nak tahu nama dia. Tak dengar tadi doktor cakap.
Yang pertama Kaparo, yang kedua Handler, yang ketiga Awa. Okay.
Okay.
Kaparo, Candler and AWA Limited. 3 itu. Okay, class. So for the other 5 groups, if you want to make the new, you can text me, update me and mention about the case name. So that I will be noted lah. So the confirmation by today lah whether you want to make the new one ataupun cukup lah untuk yang dah buat tu. Okay. So tapi markah taklah banyak sangat kan, 7.5% je. So kalau yang nak buat yang lain, boleh bagi tahu saya by today lah. Last hari ni update saya. Okay class? So,
Doktor.
okay. Okay, so Assalamualaikum and thank you.
Selamat.
So,
Alah.